biggest thing. Alright, so with her passive, hold on. She calls in a support package via helicopter by crouching for 0.5 seconds. The box can be obtained by anyone, ally, or enemy. Items in the box can be of the following: armaments permanently. Make sure you understand that. Permanently increases attack by 6. Intel permanently increases movement speed by 15. War funds grants 500 gold. Now here's the thing. It can be picked up by anyone, like it said, so it could be a problem. Also, it's based on RNG, meaning it's like random number generation. You never know what you're gonna get. So you could have a really bad match where you're getting like movement speed all day, and you're just gonna be extremely fast. Or you could have a really good match where you're getting a whole bunch of attack speed and movement speed and war funds. It's just going all over the place. Either way it goes, it's a really good thing to actually look into and invest in as far as using it to your advantage, which is why I use one of the items that I use on her. Now her Q is actually a blind. It stuns and blinds. She tosses a grenade. It's a flashbang. It hits. It blinds everyone in the vicinity in which it hits. So throw it at him. Anyone that was standing next to him would have been blinded and stunned for that short period of time. Of course, it does do damage as well, but doesn't do a whole heaping of damage. And the remote grenade is actually pretty legit too. So I'll kick a grenade forward, and either I'll let it go its full length and it'll detonate, or I can detonate it when I wish to. Whenever I wish. If someone's close to me, I can do it right at my foot. It does not damage you if you detonate it close to you. The E is a really good skill to actually understand, and something you really want to make sure you have a firm grasp of before you use it. She launches her seeking missiles in the air. Now, one thing I want to say about it before I get into the reason why you want to understand it before you use it is after the second missile, the last missile will do less damage if they all hit the same target. Now, here's the thing. This will target minions. So if there are minions in front of the person you're trying to hit, if there's 3 minions lined up, it's going to hit all those minions and not that person. The explosions do damage to people around them, but they do less damage. So you really want to make sure that you have this shot lined up before you take it. Her aim is just a straightforward bazooka shot. Again, the explosion does damage to all those around. You can get an upgrade for it where it will go through people. It'll pierce people, but it only pierces one target, I do believe, and that does still count minions. Make sure you're aware of that. Then her ultimate, she summons a helicopter drone that fires gunshots and missiles. It's air raid. You want to make sure that they've already used their escapes, because this is really easy to escape. Like, this is obscenely easy to escape. All you have to do is dash forward or back to get out of it, and then, you know, they're gone. That's it. And if the hero that you're fighting or the hyper that you're fighting actually has a good escape, you want to make sure that's used up beforehand. Or if you are confident enough that they won't escape, or you can land this quickly enough, you can do the R. You can do the R, and before they actually get out of there, you can blind them. But see, there is a delay in that after when she activates it before you can do anything else. So in some cases you might want to blind before you do the R. So it'd be blind then R. There's still a slight delay between the two, so they can still get out. You just got to make sure you're aware of that. Now, with her passive being taken into consideration, the item I want to go over, this is the most selected item when you're editing a item set for her. This is the most selected item for her, and with good reason. This decreases the cooldown time on your passive. It drops it to 60 seconds. So every minute in game, you can call down your air support to actually boost yourself in either the attack speed, the movement speed, or the war funds. And war funds do help because you can build your items. Now, of course, the stats on this are pretty great too. You got attack plus 15, lifesteal plus 5%. And then it also adds critical rate at the tail end there too as well. You can see it's 3 stages. So with this item, you want to get it as early as possible. It is a high cost item, but hey, if you're getting your war funds right off, that helps you. With the boots, I actually take Slaughterer's Gators because I do like the lifesteal plus the movement speed. I can actually go into that. Now, the items, Breath of Fire, y'all are well aware of how this item works. It's on so many item sets on my tutorials. You got the attack, the health and the max health, and at the tail end critical rate as well. I do actually build some crit on her and max health because I enjoy being able to do damage and sustain myself. I do have a little bit of life still. That's where part of the sustain comes in. I don't have a lot because once you get enough damage, the percentages on your life still just skyrocket. Now, with Breath of Fire, so I'll actually, go over this and be in detail with my tutorial in case you haven't watched any of the other ones just yet. After every skill used, you do an additional, your next basic attack gets empowered. Like, look, I'll show you. So I'll use A. Now my next basic attack is empowered. So it does additional damage, 100%. Now the ESP Assault Rifle actually works really well with her because it gives her an extension on her normal attack range. That way, you can actually incorporate all the Breath of Fire in that kit a little bit better. Now yes, it does land on who it hits first, but still the Breath of Fire effect does pass through. It goes through minions and the person that you're targeting, if you are in fact targeting a person at the time. But I will show you. We'll step back here. Alright. I'm hitting under the 2. Like, pay attention. I'm hitting under the 2. Now I'm going to upgrade. It's going past the 2. It's not that much of a difference in the range, but it trust me, it does help, and it does matter once you get to a certain point. Now Tatyana does not have any escapes herself aside from her blind. Okay, so if you're being chased down, you're going to want to hold your dash, you're going to hold your blind, and you're going to want to try and get out of there as fast as possible, which is why the move speed does help a little bit. Her combo, she doesn't necessarily have a whole bunch of combos. You got your A into E, or you got your E into Q, or heck, you even got your Q into E, and as I already said earlier, your Q into R, or your R into Q. But and your R does hit towers. Like every skill hits towers. Your R, your ultimate skill, is not excluded from that. It hits towers. Anywho, we'll go back into the items real quick. Twilight's Call. This is the first person I've actually put this on. It lowers the movement speed after you max it out. Of course, it lowers the movement speed on every critical hit that you get. It lowers it by 30% for 2.5 seconds, so it's hard for people to escape you. Tatyana does do a lot of damage once you build her up, once she's got a few items on her, but she is a specialist. Don't try to play her as a striker. You're not the primary source of damage. You should never be the primary source of damage. You do, in fact, do a lot. You can be a secondary carry, but you will not be a hyper primary carry. If you do really well with her, you can be, but that's not essentially what she's there for. But we'll go ahead and level this up. There we go. There's the crit. You saw the slow. Then the Plasma Cutter. While attacking, you inflict 61 additional damage per second. It's like a bleed, basically. So, yeah. So they're bleeding out. There it is. It really helps you to finish out those kills. I already talked about this. Now my passive is on a 60-second cooldown. And then, of course, movement speed and life steal. That does help. Now I'm just doing this much damage on auto attacks. Mind you, he doesn't have any defenses. But either way, that's kind of how that works and how that goes hand in hand. Alright guys, this was kind of a short one, but she's not really too complicated, too complex. I'll probably have another tutorial out when the next hyper drops with the next update. But until then, y'all have a great day, morning, noon, or night. Get a JOHOHO in there, and I'll see y'all next time.